Hello, Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, looking at a Land Rover Discovery Sport. So just getting inside the car, started up. 32,000 miles on the clock there. So I just opened the bonnet there already. We've got this message: no engine restarts in 460 mile. So let's see what else it says there. Got the engine management light on. That message there. So we'll run diagnostics and see what we're looking at. So I'm using the Top Ton Phoenix Plus here. I'm going to go into the engine control module. I've just finished a scan. So we've got Nox Exceedance again. All of these codes. Oh, we've got a injector circuit. Hopefully it's not a permanent fault with the Adblue injector. So we'll try and go into the live data and see what we can find here. Read the data stream. So we're just going to go through the stuff that we need and we'll take those off. So we've got the live data up here. We're just looking through what we're looking at. So we can see there the fluid tank level is round about empty. So it should be up to 17.9. Sorry, this one. Go down through, see what else we're looking at. So there's the particle filter differential pressure. That's measured in pascals. Let's give it a full rev. So that's about 220 millibars there, which is quite high. And we're sitting around about 10 millibars on idle. So it's not completely blocked, but it's getting there. So I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos with this Nox Exceedance codes. I've done dozens of Range Rovers now so far with these faults. More particularly the bigger ones, the bigger Range Rovers. So where am I looking at? Sorry, there, ECM. These Nox Exceedance faults, 9 times out of 10, these are all just related to the AdBlue level being low. Renew the AdBlue level and clean out the AdBlue injector. And I've done dozens and dozens of them. Just unblock the AdBlue injector, refill the AdBlue system, and all of these faults disappear. But these ones, this is a historic fault, camshaft position center. So I'm not going to worry about those anyway. That's not something I'd really want to get involved with on this engine. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe advise, the DPF is not fully blocked, but it's 220 millibars, which is high. It shouldn't be maximum, should be around about 50 usually, but maximum of 80 millibars. Around 220 it is considered as blocked. So we're going to advise like a DPF flush. I'm going to clean out the AdBlue system and get rid of all these codes, reset the AdBlue system and clean out the AdBlue injector, refill the AdBlue tank, and then we'll take it on a test drive and go from there. Right, to do the AdBlue injector, I'm going to need a 1/4 inch 4mm hex or Allen key, just a few attachments. Get those ready. Then I'll need a little hook pick to clean it off. So we're under the car here. There's the AdBlue injector just up there. So I'm going to get this little cross member frame here off. Just a couple of bolts. And over to the other side. I can put that down there. So just taking off the cross frame there. And look what I'm looking at. What has happened here? Only thing I can suggest is a rodent has been in here and he's been having a little feed on the electrical wires there. Apparently mice and rats do like nibbling on wires because they like the feeling of the electric that tickles their tongue. So now I'm just using this 4mm hex key here to open the Adblue clamp. I need to get this off. Got that off. Clamp there. And again, as I suspected, every one of these I've ever opened has been exactly the same. That's completely blocked up. So not only have we got the problem with the wiring, it's also blocked as well. So it's a good practice just to take it off and clean it anyway. So I'm not going to use anything special here, just a little pick here, just to just pick all of this stuff off. There you can see most of it's just came out there with the first pick. And there you go. And once we've got all that cleaned around, just use a bit of brake cleaner just to wash it off. Then we'll also just get the pick in the actual hole there where it goes in to make sure that's nice and clear as well. We'll just scrape that through, make sure that it's not blocked. So I'll just give it a little bit of a spray up now with the brake cleaner. And she's clean as a whistle there now. So just doing a little repair here on the wires using some heat shrink, and I'm just gonna use a bit of my blowtorch. It's a little bit excessive, but that's all I've got. Just hold it back a little bit just so I put some heat on it. So now that's all joined up there nicely. We'll get this back onto the vehicle and do the same thing again. And we're going to do the same again there. Heat shrink that up. So that's it there, that'll be all perfectly back together there. And hopefully he doesn't re-chew this one, whoever he is. Probably advise the customer some way of putting some sort of deterrent around the car to stop these rodents. Right, so that's the Adblue injector all fitted back up there. The clamp's back on, the plug's back in, the wires are repaired. Right, again now to do the DPF, I'm using the WINS Dpf Cleaner into this bottle here. This is the JLM Dpf cleaning bottle, and I'm connecting that up to the compressor here. So I've got the Dpf cleaning fluid there ready, but before I do that, I'm just going to fill up the Adblue system. And I've opened the little tank here for it, connected up a funnel. Now we'll just make sure that the Adblue tank is full. That's the Adblue all done. It's taken about 12 litres of Adblue, that. So I'm just going to remove this breather pipe here. Now this is a sensor that goes down to the low pressure EGR. I just like doing it on these, filling the fluid through here, because the low pressure EGRs on these have a problem with blocking. So if we feed it through here, it'll go through the low pressure EGR, and then directly into the DPF. So that goes to the low pressure EGR, and from the low pressure EGR the pipe then flows straight back to the DPF. So we can clean both at the same time by doing it like that. But you got to be careful when you're doing it with this. If you overwhelm this, it can then back flood into the engine and hydrolock it. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to leave the engine running while I'm doing it. So I'm going to use this kit here, Laser 7999, because these normal spanners here don't get in here. It's quite a tight area. This one just fits in there perfectly. Just like that. So I've already loosened that off there. Now I can undo it by hand. So just use these to slip over the top of the hose, push it down. So now it's disconnected. Put that there. Got that connected on there. I'm just going to spray that in. If we let go of this for a few seconds, we'll have a look at the back. It should be foaming up now. Now we'll continue. Now we can go under the car and connect it up to the DPF pressure sensor as well, and we'll put some directly into the DPF as well. It's quite difficult to film under there because I've got to go under the car. Okay, so all the rest done. I'm back in the car and I'm gone into the special functions there. I'm just going to reset the learned values on the Adblue system for the injector. That's complete. Oh, what's happened there? Is it doing it again? Don't know what happened there. Switch the ignition off. Switch the ignition back on. Okay. It wants to do a code clear, but that's already done. I've just cleared the codes already. Okay, so all that's done. Now we'll go back. Now I'm going to reset the catalyst quality monitor. As it was saying, there's Nox Exceedance, and sometimes if you don't just reset these things, clearing the code isn't good enough. Okay, something's happened there. Need to do that again. This one, yes. Ignition to number 2, yes. Is the quality? No, it's not. I think that's where I went wrong. I just pressed OK without reading it there last time. Ignition back on. Yes, we can do a code clear if there is any. And we just wait for that to count down to finish. Now I can trigger off a dynamic regeneration, which is going to read the soot mass, and we'll just get that lowered down as well because the soot mass is calculated by the computer, and when you do a regen with these, it will lower the soot mass accordingly in comparison to the pressure of the engine of the DPF. So we'll start it back up so we can actually see. Yes, it's going to read the particle filter soot mass. So that's calculated by the pressure of the DPF. Okay, so set that off now. It's going to wait for it to get the temperature, and then it'll start doing regen. Okay, that's down to 0.01, which is basically nothing. So we'll press OK. So just taking the car on a 20-minute test drive. So that's it back. We're going to read the fault codes, and it's all clear. So that's it, all finished. So that's it. We'll see you on the next video.